Good evening, Somers, and welcome to the Somers Town Board work session, Thursday, April 4th. If you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated. Okay. Having no public hearings for change, we'll move on to public comment. Make a motion to open public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Is there anyone here for public comment?
Yes, please.
Please join us at the table.
Thank
Give us your name.
Work session.
It's a work session.
Right.
Give us your name, address.
Yes, my name is Jerry Boragini, and I live at 4 Mohawk Lane since 1974.
Okay.
We don't know each other because I'm a quiet person. I've stayed out of trouble. And you guys do a pretty good job so far, so I have no complaints. But tonight I'm asking for your help. I'm not a politician. I'm not an activist. I'm just a person who can't sit by while the state legislature and the governor declare that unborn babies can be aborted up to the day of birth. I'm asking for your help to repeal the Reproductive Health Act. I don't feel like I have representation in Washington or Albany, except for Assemblyman Byrne. While this is a state matter, you can voice my concerns to Senator Harcum and the governor. I will. This law was signed on January the 22nd and took effect immediately. The law added a health exception to New York law so that abortions are now legal in the final 3 months of pregnancy to protect a patient's life or health. Health can include factors such as physical, emotional, psychological, familial, and a woman's age relevant to the well-being of the patient. In practice, this means that any reason agreed to by a woman and her abortionist will satisfy the health exception. On January the 21st, a baby after 24 weeks was a person under New York law. On January the 22nd, with a stroke of a pen, this is no longer true. A woman and her abortionist now has the right to choose death. They never say death, but that's what the choice is. Right up to the day of delivery, it's her body, but she can abort her unborn baby, another human being's body, a living person. I'm asking that you use your intellect. At 24 weeks, that baby has a heartbeat, brain waves can be recorded, that baby has arms, legs, fingers, toes, the baby breathes amniotic fluid, the baby has hair, eyebrows, eyelashes, the baby kicks. How many of you remember that in your own children? Some people say this fetus cannot survive outside the mother, but many babies do survive if they are born at this time. This is a person. This is a human being. At 7 months, a baby looks around, can taste, hear, touch, yawn, hiccup. The baby recognizes the mother's voice. The word fetus means little one. That baby is a person who hears, who eats, who grows, who has a beating heart, who feels pain. That unborn baby is as human as a week-old baby who also cannot survive without care from others. Some of you may have experience with a baby who was born early and needed care. That baby is just as human as an elderly person who cannot survive without the care of others. Once we were all that baby who needed care, and many of us will need care again near the end of our lives. Both the unborn and the old are human and deserve life. All that is necessary for evil to succeed is that good men do nothing. You were elected. You were chosen. I believe you're good people. You take care of matters like our streets, wastewater, easements, marijuana. A few weeks ago, You cared about a student when you were a teacher in high school. Now this issue is about life. Do something. Don't say it's a state matter and walk away. Slavery is a stain on this country's soul. I believe abortion is also a stain on our country's soul. Some women say it's my baby. I own it, and I can abort that life if I choose. Is that what you believe? What would you have done 160 years ago about slavery? Would you have said slavery is an issue in some other state, it's not my problem? I believe you would have acted. So act here and act now. Take a position. Tell Governor Cuomo this law is wrong. It's inhumane. These are unborn children, not medical waste. Use your heart. We all believe that we are endowed by our Creator with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's why we have a government, not to end our lives. Don't let this legislature and the governor tell us that these unborn children are not human. That's bad science. It's a lie. You know better. Use your mind, use your heart, and use your soul. Tell them in Albany that they are wrong. Speak for those unborn children who can't speak for themselves. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your consideration.
Thanks for your comments. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here for public comment? Okay. I'm going to, if there are a number of people. Yeah, no, come to the table, man.
I'm sorry, I thought you were getting ready to close it.
No, come to the table, please. Join us. Give us your name and address.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for letting me speak. I am not a resident of Westchester County.
Well, we're going to find that out as soon as you tell us your name and where you live.
I'll be happy to. Now, my name is Ann Gerbeth. I've been a resident of Putnam County. I lived in two different towns in Putnam over the last 46 years. Lake Carmel and most, like 34 years, Mahopac.
Okay. And let me just interrupt for a moment.
Certainly.
You know, I see there are a number of people here. This is a very important issue, but to give everyone ample time to speak, I would ask you to limit your comments. I let the initial speaker.
Is 3 minutes okay or no?
Oh, sure.
3 minutes?
Yeah, 3 minutes is fine.
Oh, sure.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Understood.
I appreciate that. Undoubtedly, all of you here tonight who were aware in 1973 of the passage of Roe v. Wade learned that this bill would make abortions legal, safe, and rare. Nearly 46 years later, we know that it's far from rare, and it has the potential to become rather unsafe. Abortion has become quite a topic of conversation as of late, especially for New Yorkers. Recently, a film entitled Unplanned has been shown in a few theaters. Word has spread that it's about a woman named Abby Johnson who worked in an abortion clinic in Texas for about 8 years. She was so good at the front desk that she eventually became the director of the facility. It was during her 8th year that a doctor called her in to the operating room to assist him as he performed an abortion. What she witnessed during this procedure would shake her to her core. She had come face to face with what she had previously preferred to ignore. She left her lucrative career and embarked on a very different path, and presently works with many others to save babies' lives. She actually founded an organization entitled And Then There Were None, and since then, hundreds have left the Planned Parenthood industry. Of course, the other topic causing a lot of discussion is Assembly Bill A21, aka the Reproductive Health Act. It was passed in just 3 weeks' time, despite the lack of public hearings, testimonies from doctors, or New Yorkers such as yourselves who would have liked to make their opinions known. RHA does not just codify Roe v. Wade. It aggressively expands abortion in New York, and under the guise of the word health, it permits late-term abortion up until the baby's birth. This bill would also permit partial birth abortions if the federal ban is appealed and overturned, which it could be. RHA has also expanded the number of medical professionals who are permitted to perform abortions, including non-doctors. Finally, we most likely have all learned about another effect of this bill. Recently in New York, a district attorney had to dismiss a second-degree murder charge against a man who murdered an unborn child while also killing the baby's mother. He no longer can be accused of a second-degree murder charge, as the penalty of this crime has been removed. Please think about this for a moment. The unborn baby no longer has any rights. How could we not believe that atrocities will not be performed by some unethical abortion providers who abide by this concept? We're headed down a slippery slope. I think we're already there, but we cannot ignore the probable consequences. I thank you very much.
We thank you. Anyone else here for public comment?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm also from Mayapack.
Good evening. Yeah, just give us your name and address.
Margaret Doherty, and I've been in Mayapack for 58 years, for a long time. What I wanted to talk about really, originally the Roe v. Wade went for the 20 to 24 weeks. And for 12 years we'd been trying to have the state not pass a law, which it had not been able to have the Reproductive Health Act passed. When this year came around, they added to the bill. They changed the bill. And the way they changed the bill was by, number one, taking out any, going all the way to birth. And also taking out the fact that if in third trimester there had been a doctor available, so at the same abortion, so that if a baby was born alive, that baby would be taken by that doctor and seen, taken care of. That was, as they repealed 4164, that section of it. And in that, that has probably been one of the main things to my mind, because it is a third trimester. And in that time, the Center for Disease Control has been keeping track of things, and in that period of 18 years, they have records of 592 babies that were born alive that are alive. Most of them went for adoption. There's a couple of them went, the mother decided to keep the baby. Because of the way things happened at that point with not having a doctor there, many of them would have died if it was just the abortionist and the mother, because the idea was to have an abortion. So you have an abortionist, you have a mother who both thinking the same way. That's why the third person in there was a balance. There have been a number of people, as I said, 592 that we know of, but that number is very small because the Center for Disease Control asks you to do that voluntarily to report these born alive babies, and I don't think everybody does that. But there are a couple of them that now speak out, and one of them is Melissa Oden, and she has formed an abortion survivors network and has been in contact with 210 abortion survivors, which she reported this before Congress, I think it was in 2016. Another one that speaks out is Gianna Jessen, and she has, first of all, Melissa is fine, is healthy, but Gianna has cerebral palsy. She was left in the saline solution for over a day, and she has had a number of problems as a result, but she still is very happy that she was alive. There's another 3 of them that are also outspoken speakers for being alive and being, and I think there'll be more that will be born alive, and they've already changed what is a human being. A human being, that was another thing they did in the law. They changed the meaning of a human being. A human being now is one that is born and is alive. They no longer, so if an abortionist were to kill the baby just before that or as the baby's being born, it wasn't a human being. So it's opened a lot of difficult problems that I think we're going to run into. I don't think it's healthy for the woman herself. If you're in that third trimester, your body is preparing you for pregnancy. It has been preparing you all along for pregnancy, and to continue it is better for your health. And to have the baby born, give it up for adoption. That's a saving for the baby. It's a win-win situation because you have a lot of adoptive couples that would be very, very happy to have a child. So we're concerned about this third trimester and the things that have. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else here for public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I wasn't planning on this. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Janine Lepore, and I live on 5 Annisville Road, down the road. This is something very...
You could say ditto.
Sorry. But people have to think not only of the child, but of these people that are being told that it's okay to abort and that there's no consequences after. Because there's a lot of people involved, and when you take a life, okay, we say the pledge and we say liberty and justice for all. And that means from every stage of growth, and that is the child that is inside you. And when you take that child's life, okay, that's not justice. And that's not justice for the mother, and that's not justice for, let's say, the father. The father, if you notice, there's no mention of fathers. And how many fathers care about their child just as much, if not more, than the wife? They're an equal part in this, but they have no say. So take that into consideration. This is not justice. This is murder. Okay? And you could read all about it, but, you know, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else here for public comment?
My name is Catherine Filipina. I live in Heritage Hills in Somers. I just would like to say I went online today and I was looking up some quotations from our forefathers, our founding fathers, because the priest at church the other day said how at one time the George Washington had made a statement saying that as long as the moral base of a country is stable, we have intelligent, wholesome, healthy going forward. As soon as that moral base is gone, the republic is gone. The government will fall apart. And that's what's happening. Just look around. It's going. We have no moral base. We have no one that anyone would even conceive of this thing to do this, but never mind promote it as the governor has done, or any women who would even consider this, or like you said, whatever it happens. But it's just so unbelievable to me, and it frightens me because when we see Hitler, you know, was Catholic, and look what he did. Cuomo is Catholic. Who's that woman from California, the crazy woman on this? She's supposedly Catholic. Catholic to me is just a symbol of who's supposed to be an example of goodness and kindness and love and doing the right thing. And if these are the people that are promoting this, we're in big trouble. Really, our country's gone. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else here for public comment? Okay.
May I just add one thing? I meant to say.
Come on up so we can all hear.
I just wanted to add, I'm sure you probably already know this, but Putnam County passed a resolution the other night at the old courthouse, is where many of us were, And it was almost unanimous that they passed, and we are the first county in New York State, I believe, to pass this resolution to Governor Cuomo, saying, you know, at the very least, change part of this bill. If you're not going to change all of it, change the most egregious part of it. I mean, there's more than one egregious part, but the part about it's no longer a human being in the womb, and that if it's killed, it's okay, you know, it's just material, you know, we can get rid of. That's not true, and that's why we're here. This all started like very simple when we first learned about this going on, and the celebration that occurred after this was passed. It really was shocking, and that's why, you know, we're not people that go around, you know, to people's meetings and try to interrupt or anything. We just want to do what we can, if we can do anything for this matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And I want to thank all the speakers tonight for taking the time to come out and share your views with us. It's important for us to hear this. I'm sure we all have our own opinions on the issue, and you know, we'll discuss this. Is there anyone else here for public comment? Seeing or hearing no one else, I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. So, gentlemen, you know, we've all been aware of the Reproductive Health Act, and I'm sure each one of us has their own opinions of it. I, for one, speaking for one, thought it was abhorrent that there was a celebration when this bill was passed by the lighting of New York City buildings. We opposed the legalization of marijuana when it was proposed. You know, we have a local law all set to go if and when it ever resurfaces. And by the way, it was taken out of the budget, so we're not going to see it this time around. But this law, you know, has been and is in effect. So,
Okay, just one point of clarification. Is the proposal to roll back this law, or are we talking about Roe versus what?
What proposal?
Well, not the proposal, the discussion. There's no proposal, right?
right.
Maybe you have to ask these folks. I mean, are we
Quite
talking?
honestly, and I mean no disrespect, it's not an agenda item.
Yeah.
And it's public comment where we don't have all the information that I think any of us are ready to discuss it. You're asking a question.
Right.
So if somebody wants to put it on a future agenda, I have no problem with it. But I'm not prepared to discuss it right now, much like we do with every public comment. We hear it, and then if we decide we want to put it onto agenda, that's fine. But at this point, I'm not prepared to get into any lengthy discussion on it.
I respect that. Frankly, we had comment when we have public comment, and it's emotionally charged, and it moved me. I'm going to make a comment after
No, that's fine.
public
That's
comment.
fine. But I'm just saying, I'm not prepared
So,
to.
I think what I heard over here is in Putnam County, that one town board passed a resolution in opposition, you know, to this. So yeah, we can put this on for another
I think she
agenda
said
item.
the county did.
The county did.
Was the county?
So did the town.
Carmel?
Yes, yeah, it was municipality.
She said county.
Yeah, she did.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, we can discuss whether we want to put a resolution together. Obviously, I thought that's where you're going. We are a municipality. This is a home rule state. You know, and this is a legal question that we'll follow up with Roland. But as we did with vape shops and potential marijuana sites sales, we can look into prohibitions.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving along.
Can we just
first-
get copies of the? We'll get copies of the resolution, or we'll just go out there
We
and
don't-
get them ourselves.
We should get a copy of the law.
The law, yeah,
I mean,
of course.
sure
I haven't read it.
I'm sure if we decide to do something, Roland could
get a copy of the resolution that's out there, and we could look and see if we agree or want.
Gentlemen, I will forward to you a copy of the resolution from
Sir, you have to,
Carmel.
Public comments
This
closed.
is the town of Carmel.
okay, thank you.
And also emailed you a copy of the.
If you would, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we have an agenda to move on with. First up is the Parks and Recreation. Authorize supervisor to award the bid to Bauman and Sons Bus, Inc. for the summer camp trip transportation in the amount of $24,414 per memo dated March 6th from Steve Ralston, Superintendent of Parks and Recreation. And we'll move that to the consensus agenda.
It's fine.
It's fine.
The town board, item number 1, Heritage Hills Special Sewer District Extension for Erstad Biddle. Application.
I'm going to get off topic for 1 second
Sure.
here. I do want to thank you very much. I said this to you up in your office a few days ago. I think there was a lot of misinformation out just in general about the DeChicos and the water hookup, and I thought the information you put out explained it very well, and just a very good job on that.
Very clear.
You know, we got
Appreciate that.
people were coming at us saying,
Oh my
you
God,
know,
last night I walked into a meeting, first question,
Yeah.
when's the Chico's open? I'm out of milk.
I mean, I had people coming saying, why did Rich not let the water hook up? And I said, because he didn't want to, but no. But no, seriously, that was a great letter that you put out there, and it really, so I didn't want to hijack it, but just wanted to put it
No,
out there.
I appreciate that, and, you know, I thought it was necessary.
Is that on the town website?
It's in the newspaper.
Well, if we can get it on the
Yes,
town website, just
okay.
for people who are watching who may not have seen it in the paper, if we can get it on, we'll get it on the town website, and you can look at what I'm referring to that came from the supervisors. And it does clarify sort of what's going on with the DeChicos and why it's delayed.
Yeah, and a little bit of the history
Yeah.
of the sewer treatment plant.
It's been a good point of reference.
Sorry about that.
Okay, well, it's germane to this topic. So, last week we had discussed this. We had a public hearing. I'd like to make a motion to declare the town board as lead agency.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Make a seeker determination.
I make a motion, it's a neg deck.
Do we need, yeah,
The neg deck is included in the resolution of
Right.
extension. So if you go right,
Microphone.
if you go right to the resolution to extend the district, which requires a roll call vote,
It would
the
be
neg
included.
deck is in there.
Got it.
okay, so,
I was just going by the agenda.
Very good.
yes, let me consult with my town clerk.
Councilman William G. Faulkner.
Aye.
Wait.
I make a
We're
motion,
not-
we accept the resolution to extend the Heritage Hills Special Sewer District.
All right, I do have a note before we make the motion. So once we make a motion, we approve this, then you have to do a filing of this.
Yes, I have to file it with the Secretary of State and with the county clerk.
Okay, and I would just note that before the filing takes place, we are assured that the plant is up and operating at full
Well,
capacity.
I don't have that latitude. It has to be done within 10 days. So if you think that's an issue, then you should hold on the,
Well, but if we approve it, I mean, is it just
I
a
mean,
situation?
they're still before the planning board because they have to go through site plan approval for the pump station.
So this is just, we're just approving.
So you're just
the-
approving the paper.
And when it
paper
happens, it
boundaries.
happens.
We're creating the legal entity.
Yeah. So
The
Yeah,
boundaries.
of the
and
extension.
And the
Well,
ability to
okay.
I
operate.
understand why we're a little
But,
gun shy.
but in light of, right, okay.
I don't think that's necessary to hold
Okay.
it up. I think just the planning board process is going to be sufficient.
I did want to have this discussion.
Yep.
We hope.
Okay, we have a motion?
Yeah, talk a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, no, roll call.
Roll call, Patty?
Councilman William G. Faulkner.
Aye.
Councilman Richard G. Clinton.
Yes.
Councilman Anthony J. Rico.
Yes.
Yes.
Stop looking at me.
I'm sorry.
Whoa. Having an effect.
Aye.
What an effect you have.
So moved.
Stop looking at me.
It's tough. It's tough being me.
Okay, so now we're moving along to Town Board.
All right, thank you.
Item 2, authorize the supervisor to execute the following to allow Evans Associate to submit joint application with the DEC for approval of sidewalk over the stream on Route 202 to be provided by Chico's per memo dated March 21st, 2019, from Sred Dim, Director of Planning. So we can refer this to the consensus agenda as well. Any of these items need to take place tonight, Roland?
You have to declare your intent to be lead agency. You have to be authorized to sign the short form EAF.
Okay,
So all three of them.
Yeah. And you should do them separately.
we should do them
Is
separately.
that A, B, and C here?
A, B, and C.
Where's the EAF? Did I misread that?
Yep, that's B.
Secret? That's B, secret.
Okay, now were those roll call as well?
No.
Okay. So make a motion to declare ourselves lead agency.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Authorize myself to sign a short form EAF.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Authorize the supervisor to sign the joint application form and return to Evans Associates for submission to DEC.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So moved. Okay, number 3, authorize the supervisor to execute the following. Affordable Care Act consulting agreement between the Town of Somers and Corporate Plans, Inc., doing business as CPI-HR to provide effective March 1st, 2019 until February 28th, 2021. That we can move to the consensus agenda. Number 3B,
Number B.
intermunicipal agreement between the Town of Somers and the Westchester County for the partial funding of the eligible costs to construct a salt receiving, processing, storing structure at the Somers Highway Garage, pending approval by the Westchester County Board of Legislators. I'm going to make that a motion. This is the $175,000 we're trying to secure.
Second.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. And 3C, the easement agreement between the Town of Somers and the Somers School District granting an easement to the Town of Somers to install and maintain sidewalk and curbing across certain of its property abutting Route 202. And that'll be on the consensus agenda. Was that timely?
Yeah, no, but I wonder if you could enlarge it to include the other 2 easement agreements so that we don't have to wait for further authorization. We also, besides the one for the school district, there's also an easement agreement from the fire district,
Okay.
and there's the easement from the, what is it, Route 100 LLC,
Yeah,
the successor to
right.
the IBM property.
Okay,
And
so-
I'll have those easements within the next few days.
Oh, great. Okay, so we,
So are we voting for on all 3 of those?
So
Well,
I think if you authorize the supervisor to sign
right,
all
so it's not the
they're
fire
pretty much
district, though.
identical.
It's the Somers Volunteer Fire
That's right,
Department.
it's the fire department.
So we would change that to say I make a motion as stated, but to include easements for both the Somers Volunteer Fire Department and the Route 100 LLC.
Correct.
And the school district.
I said the one
And
that
the
we've
school
already made plus those 2.
Yep.
So
Okay, so, yeah, at the property Route 294.
Richard seconds.
290, what is it, 294?
294 Route 100
Yeah,
LLC.
LLC.
Do these, so you have to draft some things?
They've already been drafted, and I believe the fire company has approved it, their attorney has approved it. I don't think we have it back yet.
Yeah.
But it will be back momentarily.
right, we have-
I voted he seconded, so.
The document for 294 Route 100 LLC, that's been approved as well, and Roxana Durand is in the process of executing it.
Okay,
And
so
then
we
we'll
have,
Then we'll have the whole path done.
And that will be imminent or virtually imminent that this will happen?
Yes.
Great.
okay, so we have a motion, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Okay.
And then item 4, authorize the waiver of $200 plumbing fee for the Somers Fire District for removal of a 5,000-gallon buried oil fuel tank.
We can do that tonight, or?
No, we can do that at the consensus agenda.
I was just curious, are these numbers correct? They're taking out 5,000?
Yeah, I'm looking at
put
that,
in
right.
660?
Yeah.
That's a big decrease.
Yeah, well,
My guess is that they're not
Fuel
burying the
efficiency.
330s. That's my guess. They're not going to bury the 330s.
No, they're
So
gonna
both
be
above
inside.
ground, and you can't get above ground for 5.
For more than
That
that,
one.
but that's a huge underground.
That is, you got a lot of deliveries are
So
coming. Could be a shelter. Yeah.
we're waiving the fee,
right.
but not necessarily the environmental things that they
Not
have
the
to go.
permit, no.
Yeah, the permit.
They have
We're
to go,
waiving the fee, but they still have to go through the same
permits,
process.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just,
so actually, the
Just wanna make
Westchester
that
County Department
clarification.
of Health has a bulk petroleum storage program that will monitor
Yes,
the
got it.
lifting out of the tank, testing the soil afterwards, what have you. Okay, the next item is personnel, and I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to return immediately after.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Musical, the musical is
And
still going
we're
on.
nice.
back from
I don't
executive
have to
session.
leave.
Encore and curtain calls, right?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Okay, so we exited to executive session under personnel. I think our first order of business, we have a vacancy on our planning board.
Still.
And we interviewed a number of candidates, and we've selected a candidate for the position. And I'd like to make a motion, or would someone else want to make a motion?
Make a motion to put Chris, last name?
Zaberto.
Zaberto, as the candidate and
To take
individual.
the unexpired spot of Jan Corning.
Correct.
on the planning board.
All right.
Have a second?
Second, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Congratulations, Chris.
I think, right? There's a lot of work, Chris.
It is a lot of work, but I think he's up for it. We've watched him on the Somers Energy and Environment Committee, and he's been an active member of
Of the
your
task
the
force.
task
Right,
force.
So he's been involved in stuff, which is important when you know, he's been involved, he knows things, he can step right in, and, I think we should be confident.
Okay, great.
Because it's a very important position, we all know.
True. All right, we have current vacancies. I'd like to authorize the reappointment of Michelle Werney to the Somers Parks and Recreation Board to a 3-year term ending March 9th, 2022.
Second?
I just got to note that Suzico the musical has ended.
Oh.
So
All right.
I will have to
Go see the
retire to
star.
go pick up one of the stars.
Bring back autographs, please.
Do you want to vote on,
Yes.
you want to vote on that last one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'll vote on that. I voted on it, did I?
Oh, we have to vote each one individually, or are we going to do the whole thing? Michelle Warney,
Consensus?
Yeah,
consensus? What do you want?
Yeah, these will all be
Consensus,
No,
consensus.
actually, if we could vote on Chris, they have a meeting next Wednesday.
just
Oh, we
did.
did all right? All right, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All
done.
right. Tell her we...
Congratulations to Brenna.
Yes.
Okay, well, actually, yeah, why don't we move on these, because,
Don't let her be a diva.
all right,
Brenna the diva.
okay, we will, consensus agenda for number 3, that's Michelle Werney.
Yes.
Acknowledge the retirement of Arnie Guyot as a senior auto mechanic for the Highway Department for the past 27 years, effective November 15th, 2019.
Thank you,
We'll
Arnie.
put that on the
Put that on
consensus
there.
agenda.
Yes, with great appreciation.
Great appreciation, yes.
Boy, he's kept that plow fleet on the road in the winter. That's where he really shines. And we thank him for all the work he did with our Eagle Scout, Max,
Model T.
Karen, right, for
Oh,
Be
that's
Happy to
right.
Model T.
Right, I forgot that.
And you'll see that in the parade, our Memorial Day parade.
Good.
And then number 5, accept the resignation of Matt Pfaffenbach as motor equipment operator in the Highway Department effective March 22nd. And do I need a motion on that?
You could either.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the resignation.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
So moved.
And best of luck. Best of luck wherever he's going.
Okay. Okay, and let's move under proposed consensus agenda to number 5, schedule a public hearing for the proposed conservation easement for the Merritt Park subdivision on Lovell Street. So, Ricky or, why don't you guys come up?
You want me to show you the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you tell us, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, explain to the board
happen.
what this is all about.
After 3 years of sitting there with no one looking at this house, I finally gave it away. I didn't sell it. And now she's on my back all the time. So I guess Jerry Tortorella was talking to Roland about getting all the paperwork done, and Roland mentioned that we had to come before you guys to get this easement approved that the planning board wanted, which we didn't know.
So we know you, but does the public know you?
Yeah, well,
Go ahead, give us your name. Come on, you gotta tell us your names. Come on.
The magnificent.
You are brothers, right?
Magnificent Mancinis.
And that's it. We're here just,
okay, so just in connection with Merritt Park, I know you did work across the street on Lovell,
yes.
right? That was part of your.
The retention basin's right across.
Okay.
And also
And on.
Lake Shore, is it?
North.
Lake Shore Drive?
Lake Shore Drive, in the old ball, referred to as the old ball field.
Okay. All right, so, but those are separate and apart from this easement?
Yes.
Okay, so just, the question I got from board members where, give us approximation, does it run the length of Lovell?
It's right here. See,
Yeah,
it's not
so-
all the way through. What had happened originally was the planning board wanted just an easement in case you guys ever wanted to widen the road. And I guess people were saying, well, we don't want them to cut the trees down, so this is all kind of being left.
But this is a conservation easement, right?
Yes.
Yes, so we're not widening roads on that.
Well, no, I think there's if I'm not mistaken,
Right
there's
away?
a little bit of a road widening easement in there as well.
Are
Okay.
these roads built yet?
Yes,
Yes,
all
they're
built.
already there.
And the house is up on lot 2 right here.
And one house on lot two.
And let me go back.
And this
Road
road,
widening
and this road here
proposed
is,
for.
Level Street.
Level, okay. So it puts a setback,
Just
on
in
Level
case.
Street.
The planning boards often do that.
Okay,
May not be for 40 years.
I hope not.
Or may never be.
And how far is this sort of setback, where the easement comes back, what, 10, 20 feet? What is that?
Do you have magnifying glass?
I did, just,
Oh, no, it's more than that.
it's more than that.
Yeah. Well, remember, the road easement itself is 50 feet. So if you have a ruler and measure that, I mean, you're probably looking at,
That's like almost four road wides,
yeah.
yeah,
At that one spot.
at that one spot.
And I
So
think,
it's right
I think
through here.
it's really wide there because the topography at that particular point is just rock ledge type thing that goes up.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got
That's
it.
50
And
feet
Roland,
right there.
just
Right.
for the viewing
Definitely.
public, if you could explain what a conservation easement
Right.
of this nature means?
Well, the
Microphone.
conservation easement, once it's filed, will provide that the land really can't be touched. A baseline will be established as what it is at the time of its dedication. And other than removal of dead trees or diseased trees, it will remain untouched, conserved land in perpetuity.
What does that mean for taxes? Is that,
Doesn't mean anything for real estate taxes.
so there's no real estate taxes on that? Is that?
Oh,
or is
no,
it
there'll
just
still
part
be,
of the- yeah.
but there
Yeah.
won't be any reduction
Right.
because it has a conservation easement. But whatever taxes are charged now will continue to be paid.
Okay.
The
and
town will be the grantee of the easement, and the town will have the right of inspection.
All right, so we'll add this to our easement.
Inventory,
Right.
yes. The one technical issue here is the map, the subdivision map for the 15 lots, has not yet been filed. Now that the developers have a closing, they want to file the map. And they want to do that quickly. You cannot have your public hearing on this last remaining matter until May. So I had the Mancini's attorneys send me all the original documents fully executed by them. We can't have Rick sign it until you've had your public hearing. But unless you object, I view that as an administrative matter, so I'm prepared to recommend to John Curry that he can go ahead and sign the subdivision map.
Okay.
Unless you tell me that for some reason you receiving the conservation easement is going to be controversial, and you don't want me to do that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Controversial.
I don't see how it could be
I don't
either.
think, just,
And we didn't know we had to come here. We thought it was just a planning board issue, and otherwise I would have been here soon.
but just refresh me, when we drive up Lovell Street to the right, north, right, is that gonna be trees in the easement, or is it wetlands?
It's all trees now.
It's all trees
And
now.
it goes uphill, so there's no wetland.
Yeah, so, yeah.
This area,
So it'll create a barrier, and it'll be foliage, and,
this area is pretty steep right here.
yes, as I recall.
Yeah.
Right, and it's opposite
Yes.
the east side of the lake.
Lake, yes, exactly.
So,
What
Right.
house were you referring to? You referred to a house before? There's a house that you
London
didn't know.
Project already.
That's the one that
Yes.
is still available.
No, we have it, we gave it
Haven't
away.
sold
Literally?
No, I
Oh.
sold it.
Oh. But
and-
at a cheap price.
And at a very cheap price.
Right.
And at this point, they're looking to get in. They have 5 children, and they're
Wow.
living at her mom and dad's
Oh,
house.
yeah,
And
definitely.
He's ready to divorce her.
Okay, so they're in a hurry.
Is that in the Somer Central School District? or
Oh,
is that
sure.
where some of them go?
No, that's,
Oh,
that's
okay.
us.
And, 7 kids for a development, it normally takes 3 houses to do that, so we did pretty good.
So just for the public, this map is on the website, in the agenda, if somebody wants to view this. It's pretty, it's
yeah.
just for informational purposes, that's all.
My only question is, and I hope I'm not too late for this part of the conversation again, but I promised myself and others, every time there's a development, is there any way some of these street names could get named after Lynn Adams? Maybe it's too late. You've already got this one named.
Well,
this
this one
named.
is, I didn't name this. This was a stub street
Yeah.
named Adson, and we just continued Adson. As far as Merritt, I researched the property, and the original, as far back as your records go, the original farmer was a man named W.C.C. Merritt. So we put his name on the cul-de-sac.
For possible.
that's
Mickey
why you
Oliver was
referenced
very
it.
happy with that,
I'm not
yes.
gonna
Ah, I
let
didn't
this one
know
go.
Lynn Adams.
Until one day it happens.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
FYI.
I mean, if you want to give me 15 more lots, I can create it. And we'll put Lynn's name on that.
I'm open to it.
Okay.
No, it's easy.
Yeah, that was good. All right, so
Thanks.
we'll see you May 9th, if not sooner.
Okay.
That'll be really pro forma, but
You're okay with having them sign the map now?
Yeah.
At this point?
here. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Same name,
All right.
Great, thank you.
Okay, take care, John.
Thanks, Ben. Good night, guys.
See you. See you, John.
Bye. Just trying to get all these papers in order here.
All right.
All right, so under proposed consensus agenda, if there's any questions, I do have an edit to number 2, which is authorize transfer the following bond to the general fund per March 28th memo from Wendy Kent, Planning Engineering Senior Office Assistant. A, it says $300 erosion control bond. It should read $500.
All right.
All right, and the rest of the proposed consensus agenda stands as written. Okay, our next meeting will be April 11th, at which time we will have public hearing continuation on our proposed local law on property maintenance. That's our bamboo regulation.
Ah, yes.
I think we're all, just have to check if we got comments back from the planning board. That's who we were waiting for. So.
Oh, you need a local law. No, we have the one that
We
was
have one.
objectionable. I thought it was gonna be redone
That's all.
after the planning board cycled in some
Yeah, but we had
comments.
a model that we,
No, but we're waiting for the comments from the planning board.
Yeah,
to tweak that local law.
right.
There are two kinds of
I don't know that
bamboo.
they've agendized it yet.
So,
Okay, so they have a meeting, oh wait,
so that can't be. We can't have a public
okay,
hearing.
so we'll have to table that. Right, and we don't have, okay, so, I don't think we're gonna table those public hearings.
Oh, are we or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I also want to, yeah?
5-9. They're going.
Oh, both of those going to 5-9.
Okay.
But that'll be published in our next agenda. So, April 11th, apparently, this kind of leads into our announcements. We're gonna have, I'm gonna race through that meeting, because at the Somers Middle School, Partners in Prevention is having a speaker, Dr. Kevin Sabet.
Mr. Supervisor, just a thought. Can we possibly move the meeting up to start at 5:36?
What time's the speaker?
7.
Oh.
Same time as ours.
Which meeting is this, next week?
Partners in Prevention next Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday. Yeah, that's,
I can be here.
Just
You'll
notice
be
it.
here?
Roland, just notice it.
Thursday?
Just notice it.
Yep, just noticed the change in time.
I don't know, what do you need, 5:30 or 6?
yeah, no, 5:30. We're,
I mean,
As I
I
saw
guess
the
the thing is,
conflict.
what's on the agenda that, you know, we don't want someone to be
Consensus agenda. Yeah,
messed
we don't
up.
want to, we can't rush
Someone
through it.
says, whoa,
Is
wait.
there,
a
there's
second."
posting as well, right?
no,
For
we've been
time?
cognizant of this state conflict.
What's that? Posting's not required for
Public
We're
time.
not having public hearings, so
And,
it's just notice of the time change.
and nothing that would be particularly, would generate a lot of, I mean, you just don't want someone to come to the door and
Yeah.
go, what happened? They moved the thing, they didn't tell me. You know,
Right, well-
so that's the, so anything as innocuous, or not innocuous, but as routine as possible.
No, so we've been kind of cognizant of this conflict.
Gotcha.
So we've can move stuff on to tonight's agenda, which we did, and so, all right, Tony, why don't you give us the rundown on that announcement?
Okay, so Partners in Prevention, you know, we sponsor various speakers over the years.
Very good
And
speakers.
once a year, we do this in conjunction with the school district and other large organizations in town. This is going to be held at the middle school, and the guest speaker is Dr. Kevin Sabet. It's on marijuana, health and safety, and social concerns. He's going to talk about the regulation and the medical aspects as it relates to this. He has a non-for-profit that he uses as his advocate platform, and he's doing this in the tri-state area. You know, essentially, he's an opponent to the legalization of marijuana, but you know, he's a very rational, a very rational approach, and I think it's a good idea to everybody to just come and listen to him.
Well, more information is always better.
More information
regardless
is
of
already
what your
better.
predisposed
And
notion
that's
might be.
open. That's
Exactly.
open to the general public.
It's open to the general public. The last board meeting that we had the conversation, this pamphlet was attached to the, attached to the agenda. You can find this on the board meeting and the details. And, you know, he answers questions very rationally, and it's very well documented with references in terms of, to support his position. And so, you know, it's very good.
That's some of the data that we spoke about
Yes.
when we drafted our local law prohibiting marijuana sales, which we're holding in abeyance.
Hopefully forever.
Yeah, hopefully forever. Okay, that's, so who has Somers Annual Spring Townwide
Let
Cleanup?
me just say one thing here. They're asking for an RSVP by April 5th if he can.
No.
There's a website here, so.
Well, we're all going, right? We have a
We're all going.
town field
Yeah,
trip.
Town field
There
trip.
you
We get a
go.
bus for this?
But I think they're asking the public as well.
Okay, oh, they are.
We got sidewalks.
Oh, the
this year.
RSVP?
And I want the electric car.
So they said it was an honor to have you join us at this event. Please RSVP via the attached link no later than April 5th. I think they're trying to gauge,
Okay, so
what
we
an
will
attendance.
post, right, maybe they have to move the venue.
Yes.
All right, we'll post that announcement on the website, our
All right.
website.
So that's April 11th at 7 p.m. at the Somers Middle School.
Will you RSVP on behalf of all of us?
Sure.
Excellent.
Okay, who has Somers Annual Spring Townwide Cleanup.
I have that, and that
Okay.
this year goes from, it's already started, April 1st through June 1st. So we have about 2 full months, and everyone knows you see those orange bags, and I already saw 3 out on the road today. And that's where we invite people to please pick up all the litter that goes in the town, on the roads during the winter, either by people who are irresponsible or just by accident. And things happen. Garbage cans, blow over. So you can get those orange bags here at the townhouse from 9 to 4:30, or at the Somers Library when it's open, and everybody can volunteer, and you can pick up, leave it alongside the road, and our highway department will come by and pick up those bags and deposit them accordingly. So everybody does a little bit. It makes the job go quickly, so we hope everybody will participate.
Right, if everybody cleaned up just that your frontage on,
Right.
on the road, that would make a big dent in this.
I got Primrose Drive.
There you go.
Nobody else.
Okay, Westchester County Spring Household Recycling Drop-Off Days. Who has that?
I do. So that is actually this Saturday at FDR State Park from 9 to 3. This was held for years. It's been reinstated by the county. It was held for years, then it was stopped. Now it's been brought back, and it's all on the county's website of what is accepted. The mobile shredder will be there, so if you miss it when it's at Reese Park, like I did miss it, it'll be there. You can get up to 4 boxes of stuff to be shredded, and also a variety of household chemicals from auto fluids, flammable, pesticides, photography, fluorescent light bulbs and CFLs, fire extinguishers, propane tanks, batteries, auto, non-rechargeable, rechargeable, and button cell batteries, car tires, mercury thermometers and thermostats, electronic waste, computer monitors, towers, peripherals, printers, TVs, faxes, radios, stereos, speakers, all that stuff that's outmoded now, that's in my basement. Appliances with Freon, such as freezers, refrigerators, dehumidifiers, air conditioners, and expired or unused pharmaceuticals. What's not accepted, you say? Paint, oil, latex, any type, motor oil, so auto oils except motor oil, so that would be brake oil, power steering fluid, but not motor oil. Compressed gas cylinders, no. Smoke and fire detectors, no. Put them in the trash. No explosives, for those of you who no. Medical waste, no. Materials, schools and institutions, no. Cell phones, no. Phones, and no plastic bags, unfortunately. Those you got to bring back to the supermarket, and no construction debris. So a lot of stuff can go. It's a great thing, and it's at the FDR State Park. They really have it organized. I've been there several times. Almost everybody has, and that's a great thing by the county. And that leads in, if you don't do that, then on April 20th, we have a town recycling day of e-waste, metal, and other things that will be done, I believe, at the middle school. It's a $5 donation. Oh, I'm sorry, you have that. So why don't you go? So Councilman Faulkner, the expert on the town recycling day, will now discuss with us.
Speaking of which, Councilman Clenchey, sponsored by the PTA Council, Somers Recycling Day, April 20th, Earth Day, at SIS. You're absolutely correct, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Bring all the stuff that you're going to have difficulty getting rid of. Old computers, keyboards, fatback TVs, computer screens, etc. Suggested donation of $5 if you can, but bring it by even if you can't. On an even more fun side of things, the annual Easter egg hunt is going to be on April 13th at Reese
Park, right?
Reese Park at 10 a.m. And come one, come all. It's a lot of fun, and I believe the supervisor might even be there.
It might be, and there'll be a bunny, a huge bunny there that you can take pictures with.
Mr. Cottontail himself may show up. No promises, but come and see him. And lastly, a very happy sweet 16th birthday to my niece, Mackenzie Lee Urban.
Okay, we have 2 more announcements, but I do want to report on our shredding day, which was last Friday. It didn't rain for a change. People were very orderly. And some people were very concerned with, are we just taking the papers and putting them in, dumping in that truck? Or are they actually getting shredded? So I said, well, if you pull up to the side of the truck, there's a video screen, and you can watch the stuff get shredded. So indeed, any documents that you that we picked out of your car, put in the barrel, and then put into the truck, did get shredded. And we were using the county's brand new shredding machine. It's very efficient.
I imagine that the same one will be there Saturday at FDR. So
I would imagine.
they can be equally assured that they will be shredded.
Correct. So the Somers Vendor Fair and Tag Sale is being sponsored by the Somers Volunteer Fire Department, Saturday, May 4th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. At the Fireman's Field. And they are looking for vendors. So contact the Somers Volunteer Fire Department for that day. Let's see, for questions or to reserve a space, you can email vendorfair FH at somersvolunteerfiredepartment.com. That's SVFD. Or you can call 914-232-9257. You can bring your own table if you're a vendor, and the spaces 12 by 12 or $25. Double space 24 by 12 is $40. So come and sell your wares. And then our Town Memorial Day, Town of Somers annual Memorial Day Parade and Remembrance Ceremony, hosted by the Somers Volunteer Fire Department. A big thank you goes out to them. As you know, the veterans used to sponsor this event. The Somers Volunteer Fire Department stepped up big time. They'll be organizing the event with the support of the town. That will be held on Monday, May 27th. Parade will begin at 10 a.m. Remembrance ceremony immediately following at the Veterans Memorial in Ivandale Cemetery. Anyone wishing to march is asked to be at the Somers Middle School East parking lot by 9:30. Refreshments will be available after the ceremony at the Somers Firehouse. And for additional information, you can contact Ed Burns, 914-703-5167, or his email is chiefburns@aol.com.
Wonder if the Chico's be open by then. Let's stop on the way back for something.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Since you mentioned Chico's, last week's Somers Record, I had an article that I put together to address all the concerns and kind of the reasons why there are delays. But I can assure everyone, I was on the phone actually with John DeChico Jr. this morning and this afternoon, the health department this morning and this afternoon. So approvals have been obtained, work is beginning. So still gonna be time to get these pumps and bypasses set up, but it is moving forward. So the building may be sitting there, but there's a lot of infrastructure stuff going on behind the scenes.
You know, there was that famous play, Waiting for Godot.
Yes.
It's been waiting for DeChico.
Yes, waiting for. So we wish them nothing but success.
Absolutely.
And just as mentioned in the article, the town is doing everything we can.
Absolutely.
And more to facilitate the store opening.
Great. So Rick, one other thing,
Sure.
I just recall that Somers Point, the restaurant up there, has having a grand opening on the 9th of April.
Is that when it was rescheduled?
Scheduled for the 9th at
Okay.
5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I think it's just open to the public. It'd be, get up there and see what they got going on. It's a new venue.
Yeah, no, and I've been up there a number of times. I've had some meals there. Very good. Now that the patio is open, that's a beautiful venue out there. looking down the 18th hole.
Yeah.
So, all right, any other comments, concerns, announcements? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Good night, Somers.
Thank you.